In this video, we're going to create a new orienteering event. So to do this, we will use Race Admin. This is a web console for event organisers and race directors that allows them to configure their event for online entries. When we are getting you ready to have your event on Race Signup, we'll provide you with a login to Race Admin. Once you've logged into Race Admin, you come to this page where we've got some guides and documentation for you, and in the top menus you can see here we've got a number of main items for setting up the event, managing the entries, exporting to the timing system. The landing page has guides and documentation to help you get the most out of Race Admin. To get back to this page at any time, click on this item in the menu. For the main part, you will use these next two items on the menu bar. Let's just go into set up the event and show you the basics. Once you're in here, you may find it useful to use the zoom settings on your browser. To zoom out of it, press Ctrl and minus a couple of times to zoom out to 80%. This allows you to see more information on the screen and you may find it useful. Generally in Race Admin, the page has a table of events at the top and a set of data tabs in the middle of the screen. Tap on an event in the list and that event's data will appear in the tabs. When a tab has rows of data, like a list of courses, there will be action buttons on the right to allow you to edit or duplicate that item. We're going to create an event from scratch. There are lots of settings and options available to you, but I won't be covering all of them in this guide. Instead, we'll focus on the basics. We're going to set up a local orienteering event. This type of event has multiple courses and needs to collect membership information from the people entering. To create the event, click on New. Give the event a name and a date. Include it on the Race Signup homepage and put it in test mode. When your event is in test mode, nobody can enter the event for real, but you can use it to make test entries. Select orienteering as the discipline and the event type as color-coded or score. Select the level as local. Select your organization as the organizer and add the email you'd like to use for event inquiries. Select an appropriate banner image. For orienteering events, you should also select the personal timing device type. Having created the event, click on Save. Select the newly created event in the table so that the event data populates the tabs. We'll now go through the tabs and set up the event ready to take entries. In entry settings, we're going to set the entry's open date to today. This allows us to take entries when we're testing the event. Set the entry's close date and no amendments after date to a few days before the event. Give your event a short description. This is your call to action, a few words to attract entries. A long description can be useful to add a few more words about the event. Optionally, add a description to go with the fees information. We're going to use the British Orienteering age category list with the age defined on the 31st of December and juniors under the age of 21. For this event, the club wants to use the race sign-up auto credit system. So we will set that here, automatically issue a credit note. And in the withdrawal message, we'll just give a bit of information about what happens now that they've withdrawn from the event. This is very important now. Having finished with this page and put all the data in, we must come back up to the top and click on this blue Save button. The next thing we're going to do is define a start lane. Tap on New. Give the start lane a name. And we're going to have starts from 10 until 12. Notice how I've put in the the times in hours, minute and seconds format. Notice also that some labels on these forms are black and some are blue. The ones that are blue have a little tooltip that helps you when you're using Race Admin to put information in. We're going to have 30-minute windows and allow up to 30 people to select each window. Click on Save. Here we can see the details of our start lane we've just created, and in start lane slots we can see the 4 slots that have been created for this start lane, giving us 30 starts in each 30-minute interval. Now we're going to create courses. Click on the Courses tab and click on New. Select your event from the list of events. Give the course a name and a display order. I'm going to put the display order in at intervals of 10. This is just the order in which the courses will display on the entry form and in other areas on Race Sign Up. They don't have to be sequential, and it's quite useful to use 10, 20, 30 initially as a display order, because that allows you then to slot items in and move them around a bit easier. I'm going to select the start lane that we've already created and click on Save and add another. Next, I'm going to add a green course and put it in display order 20. Attach it to the same start lane, and we'll have a yellow course, display order 30. I'm going to make it a novice course and also put in start lane main. Those are all the courses. Click on Save. The next step is to create the fees. You must have at least one fee band, otherwise you won't collect any money. Click on New. We're just going to have one fee band for this event, so we'll just call it Standard. It applies to all courses, so we're not going to select a course from there, and the senior fee is £8, junior fee is £4. I'm just going to go into advanced senior fees so that we can set up the novice fee and the chip hire fee. So we'll leave these as they are. Novice fee is going to be £4. This means that £4 is charged to any senior who enters the novice course in this event. That's the yellow course. And the chip hire is going to be £1.50. In the advanced junior fees, I'm going to put the chip hire as £1. Come back up to the top and save that record. We're going to add a discount for helpers. Click on New. Give the discount the name of helper and put in a discount code. The discount percent is 50%. And that applies to the fee only, so it won't apply to any hire card charge. And save it. Now we come to probably the most complicated area of the system, and this is the entry form. So the entry form is split into two areas. We're just going to look at the standard items area today. So in this standard items area, what we have are the questions that are asked on the form, what the title is next to the question, what order it's displayed in, whether it's included or not, whether it's mandatory to answer or not, and so on. And we'll just go through these. This first one is a special item. It doesn't actually display on the form, but what it does is it does display in the entry email something called the summary, which I'll show you later, and also in the public start list. And it is basically the first name and the surname joined together. So we're going to include the first name and make it required, the surname and make it required, and we're going to say that these items can be edited after payment. We're going to collect the sex and make it required, collect the year of birth and make it required. That's so that we can calculate whether somebody is a junior and also put them into the correct British orienteering age class. We're going to ask them which course they want to do, and that's also required. For this event, we want to know if somebody's affiliated to British orienteering and make that required. And if they are, we'll ask them for their BOF number, but we won't ask non-members that. We're also going to ask them for, trying to find it now, affiliated club. We'll ask them for the affiliated club. That will be required, and we won't ask that of non-members. And just have a quick look at the display order now that we've done that. So if I refresh, the fields that are included will be displayed in order. So what we want to do, we want to slot the orienteering club selection into here between federation number and name. So we'll make that a display order of 30. Just refresh the form again. Now we can see that the club is going to be asked at position 30. And then the other thing that we need to ask them to do is to select their start time. And that needs to be mandatory as well. Right, so I'm just going to have a quick look at how that looks now. We've set it all up. So we're going to be asking them, are they a BOF member? What's their BOF number? What's their club? What's their name? First name, surname, gender, year of birth, the course, and the start time window, and if they want to opt into the organiser mailing list. Just going to make a slight adjustment to this and put the summary name right at the top of the list. Now up here in the table of events for the Southernwood event, you can see we can preview the entry form. So I'm just going to click on that. That loads up a preview of the entry form, so I can just have a look and make sure that everything is in the right order and I'm asking the questions in the right way. And also that to an extent that certain things work, so we can check whether if somebody's affiliated, the federation number and affiliated club is displayed. And if they start typing an orienteering club, that it appears in the list and they can click on it to select it. Can see that we're asking for all the right things here, and then we need to just check that the course list looks good. So yeah, blue's on there, and once selected a course that there are some start times available. So you can do all this in the preview of the entry form. Also looking here, affiliated, are you a member of? We've got a few things that we need to change, so I'll just quickly go through and make those changes. Select Southernwood. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the title of Federation member to BOF member, and the heading to BOF. I'm going to change the Federation number to BOF member number. And the heading to BOF note. Going to change this to orienteering club. The start lane is just going to be preferred start time. And that's it. Let's just go back and have a look at the preview. So it's here. I need to refresh it in order to see the changes. So now we can see BOF member, first name. Oh, it's got are you a member of there. We haven't done that, so let's just sort that out. So that is on the right hand side. So some of the stuff on these screens is over to the right, and sometimes you need to scroll to see the horizontal scroll bar. So there's the are you a member of. Just add in British orienteering. Back to the form and refresh it. Are you a member of British orienteering? So that looks a bit better now. So I'm happy with that form. That looks okay. So that's it. That's the event set up. So I'm just going to do a quick test just to show you how you would test an entry. Testing an entry is really useful because it allows you to make sure that the fees that are calculated are correct and as you want them to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this link here to go to the landing page for Southernwood. And here we can see what we've put in about the event. So there's the short description and the long description, for instance, and our email address. Courses are there. The fees, just check they look okay. Yeah, I think that all looks okay. So I'm going to do a test entry. I click on enter now. Notice that because we're trying to enter an event which is set up as being in test, that we're told that there. So I'm going to use a test user that I've got set up on the system and sign in. And this is what the users will see, what the customers will see. I've already entered events, so I've got a profile. And if I tap on plus, most of the information that's needed is brought from my profile into the entry form. So I'm just going to say, yes, I am a BOF member. And that brings in my BOF number and my orienteering club. Everything else is done. All I need to do is select a course. I'm going to the blue. And I want the start time of 10:30 to 10:59. I'm going to not go on the organizer mailing list and save the entry. This is where we can check that the entry fee is calculated correctly. So it knows that I'm senior and it's calculated an entry fee of £8. That's great. Let's just see a quick way of just checking that the junior fees work okay. So what we'll do, we'll go back into amend this entry and we'll just change the year of birth to 2010 and then update the entry. And when we come back, you see that the fee has been adjusted to junior entry at £4. Let's go back and make it a senior entry, but on the novice course. I'll amend the entry and put in my proper year of birth. And we're going to select the novice course, the yellow, and again a start time preference of 10:30. Update it. And here we can see we've got a senior novice entry at a value of £4. That's all okay. I don't need to, but I will, just for completeness, go through and actually make a test payment. You can see here you've got a test card number, so I'm just going to copy that onto my clipboard. I'm going to agree to the terms and conditions and click on checkout. Here we're in the Stripe test system. You can see it's in test mode. Just going to paste that card number into here, put in any future expiry, any CVC, 3 digits, anything in these 2 fields in order that I've put enough information to make a test payment. And I get a payment successful message. And now I can see that I've got an entry that's paid and some history of the transaction. The system will have sent me an email receipt as well with information about your event, about the event. If we have a look at the sign up page again for this event, we will see that there I am on the entry list. Setting up the event. When you're ready to go, you come back to the event tab and untick test mode and save it. When you do that, it will do a couple of things. It will remove any test entries and test payments from the system, and it will make your event live, and a row for your event will appear here on the race sign upload page. Good luck with creating your first event.